Have you ever wondered what it would be like to spend time with an Amish family in their home and get to know them and talk to them about their life? Or have you thought about how a home-cooked Amish meal would actually taste? Well, then this video is for you, as we will be looking at and reviewing this very special occurrence with a company in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania called LoKal Experiences and their tour and meal with an Amish family. Hey everybody, welcome to today's video. I am Danielle, your host here in L Living, and I make these videos to both educate myself and hopefully you all so we can make the most of our trips to Lancaster. And if you are new here or have not done so yet, please subscribe to join this Lancaster loving community. So back to the video. So today we are talking about our take on a tour and meal with an Amish family. It's with a company called LoKal Experiences, L-O-K-A-L. They are a fairly new company, started in 2018, and they are run by Lancaster locals, Mike and AJ as husband and wife. They have about 10 Amish families they work with to do these kind of tours, so we can go and visit these farms and eat with them. They have a passion for connecting guests with local culture in Lancaster. They have many local and cultural experiences they offer on their website, not just country. They have city experiences, other country experiences. They have corporate events and group events, so I'm going to link it here on the screen and then also it's in the description below. As far as the format of this video, I'm going to show you some clips of videos as I talk more about this place and this tour and what to expect. And then you're also going to see actual footage of the tour and some of the really cool things we learned from our tour guide. And then we're going to show pictures of the farm and the experience. And no Amish faces will be seen in this video, but you're going to get a lot of what to expect when you do this tour. At the very end of this video, I'm going to give my personal review of this tour and tell you what I think. Just my personal opinion. Stay tuned for that to give you the lowdown on what I thought. I'm going to quickly give you a basic timeline of this experience and then we'll get into more of the fun details. So the whole thing starts at about noon in the Discover Lancaster parking lot. That's where you're picked up by the LoKal van and taken to your destination. And then you ride in this van through the countryside, through Lancaster, as your tour guide gives you background and details and history about Lancaster and the Amish, so that's part of the tour itself. Takes you to the farm, you have the meal and you get to walk around and see the place, and then you're driven back to Discover Lancaster and dropped off about 2:15. So the whole thing lasts about 2 hours and 15 minutes. Our tour guide was an actual historian and I learned things about the Amish I did not know, so that was really fun for me. He was very knowledgeable about the Amish and the local history, and he was also very patient and took his time to explain things. Besides my parents, a friend, and myself, we were joined by a mother and son duo from Georgia, and then a family from Spain met us at the farm, which is really cool, by the way. In fact, the young adult girl who was with part of the family from Spain said that Lancaster was her favorite part of what she's been doing so far in America, which I thought was so cool. To me, this aspect of meeting people from all over the world is one of the really cool things about going to Lancaster. I met people from several countries. That's really, really fun. The fact that they were on this tour with us is really special. A few details about this tour. First of all, this experience is limited to 14 people. That's how much they can fit in their van, by the way. And it is offered once a day, noon, most days of the week. Secondly, it is not an accessible tour near the van nor getting into the Amish home. However, Mike at LoKal went above and beyond to kind of help me determine if my mom could go on this tour, because she walks with a cane and sometimes rides a scooter. Their van does not have a lift, but they did have a little step that they put on the ground for my mom to get up into the front of the van, which was lower than the back of the van. So we did make it work. And last little detail is that if you have to cancel, you must do so before 24 hours. They give you a full refund if you do. Unfortunately, 2 of my people coming with me that day could not make it. They didn't know it till that morning. So they were out that money. But we are working with LoKal at the moment, trying to get them a bit of a voucher for future use. Now you can't get it all back because obviously they had to pay for the food ahead of time. That's why you can't do it, less than 24 hours ahead of time. Okay, that's enough of me talking for now. I want to show you some of the footage of the tour and some neat facts that we learned from our tour guide. So enjoy this part.
The Amish now are growing rapidly in Lancaster County. There's about between 40 and 45,000. Their numbers have doubled in the last 10, 12 years.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
So they're coming in from other parts of
No.
Ohio?
No, they are making babies like crazy. We can explain that on a different part of the tour.
Well, COVID did that to a lot of people.
Yeah. Families of a lot of the farms I visit have 7, 8, 9 10 children,
Yeah.
and that's pretty typical. So what the Amish have done, as they always have, is adapted incrementally, and only about 30% of that population of 40 to 45,000 is farming.
What did it used to be? Do you know, like 20, 30 years ago?
It was
Probably
80,
10.
85%.
Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah.
pretty high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What it must be then.
They just can't afford it anymore.
Right.
They're very frugal. They're very careful. They're very entrepreneurial. Not much waste. If you live around Amish, does anybody here live around Amish people? No. I just had a group from Indiana last week. And
Oh, yeah,
they were around the Amish community. The Amish, by the way, are in 31 states and 4 Canadian provinces.
I know it was that high.
They participate in the government at the same level most of us do, except they don't pay all the same taxes. They do pay sales tax, real estate tax, income tax, school tax. They don't pay Social Security and Medicare. They participate heavily in local community fundraising activities for ambulances, EMTs, fire companies. They're not anti-technology in almost any way for anybody else.
Right.
It's only for them. The Amish first came to Lancaster County in 1737 aboard a ship out of Rotterdam that came into Philadelphia. The ship was called the Charming Nancy.
Huh. Didn't know that either.
Had about 35 Amish families on it, and almost the exact same number who left Rotterdam arrived in Philadelphia, because several people died and several babies were born.
Okay. Okay, as we look at some of these photos of our visit at the farm, I'll give you my personal review. So first, the things I loved. I love the van, actually. It was very comfortable, really clean, and just so convenient. You had great views no matter where you were sitting in that van, and it does fit 14 people, so it can fit your whole group. I loved our tour guide. He was very knowledgeable and very patient, did a great job. I loved our Amish host. The man of the house, Aaron, was extremely friendly, more than I expected for some reason. And he sat with us while we ate and talked the entire time with people. I was at the other end, like kind of far end, so I didn't really get to participate in that conversation, but I saw him talking like a lot, like the whole time with people around him. So that was really cool. Of course, I also loved being in the Amish home. I mean, that's kind of like the shining star of this experience. Just a rare opportunity. Also had crafts there you could buy and other fun things, decorations. So you could purchase those at the end, and which of course I had to do. And I got myself another pot holder because it's like the best thing to buy that's like local but travels really well. Anyway, I also got this cookbook made by Barbie herself of the dishes she makes for her guests. So that is really, really cool. She does that, and I love that I have her recipes now. I really enjoyed their food. Probably my absolute favorite thing I had there that day was their homemade salad dressing. It was so good. It was like this sweet honey mustard, but like something else is with it. It was delicious. And my husband loved the mashed potatoes. He's a huge mashed potato eater, and he loved these. They're really, really buttery, so different than what we have, but he loved them. She also served this oven roasted chicken with some really good spices on it. That was delicious. Butter noodles were good. The dessert was good, but I wish I would have had another one if I'm just being really picky just to choose from. And of course, I loved seeing the animals in the barn. I mean, I love animals, so it always makes me really happy. And of course, the kids. I love hanging out with the kids and seeing them. They're so cute and so helpful and so friendly. Okay, so the things I didn't love. The price. I was surprised that this tour was about $80. I know that includes the drive and the tour guide and the van, but I just feel like it could be a little bit cheaper. Just my opinion again. I know you can get a similar experience other places for about $60, just being honest with you guys. And it also would have been nice if it had been more accessible, even like a ramp at the house, or maybe some of the houses having ramps, and maybe they do, but ours did not. That just would be nice for those who need an accessibility. But really, those are my only two things I can think of that were like slightly a negative for me. It was a really fun experience. So that's my review. Like I said, only two of those things really were negative for me, and they are doing really well, so I think that the price probably won't change, but just giving you guys an honest review on how I feel about that. So it's a great experience though. I mean, especially if you've never been to Amish country, or rarely get to go, or if you've never been inside an Amish house, it's such a neat experience. Like, it's worth it to try, but it's so cool to be with them and eat with them and talk to them. And they're just very down to earth, very friendly, very real. I appreciate them letting us come to their home and eat with them. It's just a special thing to be able to do. So I highly recommend the experience for sure. Hope it was helpful. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you are going, or you plan to go, or if you've done another one of their experiences, because they do have a lot. I did a poll on my YouTube channel asking you all to vote on which tour you wanted me to try this summer as a review. And this is what won. And I love that you guys participate, so always give me your feedback. I love to include you in what we're doing and what we're reviewing. But thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful to you, and hope you enjoy your next adventure. Through a tour company called LoKal Experiences, and they are local called Tour and Meal with an Amish, which is exclusively offered through a company called they have a passion for connecting guests with local culture here in Lancaster. They have a passion for, link it here on the screen somewhere. So that's my review and my glimpse for you guys. Let's check this thing out. Nope.